Hello, I'm Kevin Hutchins. I'm the costume designer for She Kills Monsters, and I'm also the costume director here at USM.
Kevin, talk to us about what was your inspiration for the designs for She Kills Monsters.
Sure, so looking at both the Dungeons and Dragons world, and we're also in 1995 in this show. So those are sort of two universes. I was like, how do they speak to each other? Their sign is totally different. But I wanted to do a different interpretation that I came up with Megan, the director, where we blend 90s fashion into the Dungeons and Dragons world, because the Dungeons and Dragons that is being played in the show is created by a person who's a teenager in the 90s, so we thought it would have more of a pop culture influence, but sort of on the fringes. So we have like some goth fashion, some punk, some like Asian influence that came overseas and became involved in our fashion world that they had created, just to create some interesting looking fantasy that I think is going to be unique to our show.
What has been the best challenge about designing the show?
Sure, I think the biggest challenge has been how can we successfully switch between the two worlds in a way that's very smooth, because going from clothes you wear day to day to a full fantasy costume is pretty involved. So we're really working hard on figuring out creative ways to make that a really seamless transition to capture sort of the magic of playing Dungeons and Dragons.
The characters in this show, they're not stationary characters. They're moving and they're fighting.
Yeah.
What was that challenge like in terms of designing?
Definitely, I had to I found myself like sort of acting out some motions by myself in here when I was designing stuff, because I was like, this might look great, but is it functional for movement as well? And when I had my fittings, I also made sure to have the actors like show me some of their fight choreography while they had stuff on. So then we were able to work together to be like, this feels weird, or what if we did this instead? I always like to get the actors' feedback as well, because the costumes are supporting what they're doing. So that's sort of how we figured out what was going to help or hurt the movement in the show.
And talk to us a little bit about the designs behind you.
Oh, sure. So without giving too much away, you're getting costumes that are going to exist in the Dungeons and Dragons world. We have sort of a base look here for the character of Tilly, inspired by Queens, a little bit of Game of Thrones thrown in there, and also the idea of the character of the Paladin, which is this sort of knight that's fueled by the power of the sun in a lot of ways. I wanted a very Joan of Arc feel to the character. Seems to have inspiration there, and then the set of armor that I'm making is going to go on top of that to sort of add this clash of hard metal against like a soft, almost feminine energy, which I think is going to really pop on the stage and give the character a lot. Then we have our Lilith, sort of our demon queen. I wanted to go in more of like a punky sort of goth direction. That's inspired by the 90s. We have these sort of like 90s flamed black sunglasses. Her hair is inspired by an iconic Spice Girls look, which you'll see in the show. And I really wanted her to feel like the embodiment of powerful, and also, very like confident. I wanted the costume to inspire confidence. And then we have, again, our demon cheerleader look. This is going to go on top of their cheer uniforms that we actually get to see fully put together in the beginning of the show, and then they have a fully distressed and bloodied version of those same uniforms, which is going to be cool to see the transformation. And then, yeah, we wanted to sort of do this like high school girl goes demon, so we added some glitter up top in our 666, and then a bunch of letters to sort of inspire their dangerous kill count, which is cool.
And I know it's probably hard to choose. but
Yeah.
can you tell us which character has been your favorite to design?
Ooh. I honestly have to say it's sort of been fluctuating for me. The first character I saw in my brain was Lilith. I knew exactly what I wanted as soon as I read the script. But as I've been moving along and learning a lot of the like foam work for cosplay, which I haven't had a lot of experience doing before, I've really gotten into this Tilly sort of Joan of Arc paladin look. Because it's sort of morphed along with me learning through the show as well. So I would say those two have been really fun for me, but all of them are really cool, and there's stuff you're not even seeing yet, so that'll be really fun.